John A. Barnes, John F. Kennedy on Leadership, The Lessons and Legacy of a President. Dive into the fascinating world of John F. Kennedy's leadership and presidential legacy in this summary of John A. Barnes' book, John F. Kennedy on Leadership, The Lessons and Legacy of a President. Explore how JFK's visionary approach and decision-making skills played a role in shaping the United States of America both during his tenure and in the subsequent years. Learn about the importance of his celebrity status, exceptional communication skills, and personal style in shaping his political career. Through anecdotes and stories from JFK's public and private life, we'll reveal how he overcame challenges and set an example for future leaders.
JFK's legacy. John F. Kennedy revamped the presidency by leveraging media and his own fame to captivate the public's attention. Despite his polarizing political views, he relied on his astute judgment and leadership qualities to implement his policies. JFK established himself as a strong leader through resolute decision-making based on his solid principles. Crafting an unforgettable vision. A compelling vision must be easily understandable, optimistic, and complement the audience's values. JFK crafted his vision by emulating the leadership styles of Winston Churchill and Franklin D. Roosevelt. To persuade people to act, a speaker should embody the vision and make it widely accessible. A strong vision can take on different meanings for different groups and still be considered consistent. Kennedy's vision enabled the creation of both the Peace Corps and the Army's Green Berets unit, demonstrating its flexibility and all-encompassing nature. Breaking the mold. Kennedy's non-traditional path to success. In 1946, despite having no previous public office experience, Kennedy decided to run for Congress. Ignoring the traditional ladder-climbing approach, he wanted a quicker path to the top. This disregard for convention continued when he chose Lyndon B. Johnson, a Texas Democrat not popular with labor and civil rights activists, as his vice president in 1960. Although Kennedy's advisors cautioned against it, he made the decision to ensure he could secure the South's electoral votes. By breaking the mold and making tough decisions that didn't follow typical political pathways, Kennedy achieved his larger goals. Kennedy's triumph. Despite facing major health challenges, John F. Kennedy's charismatic spirit and focus on winning propelled him to victory over Republican Senator Henry Cabot Lodge. Kennedy's perseverance and vision inspired the public to believe in a brighter future for themselves and their country. Despite his private struggles with Addison's disease and a back injury from World War II, Kennedy always presented himself as a vibrant and energetic leader. Through hard work and determination, Kennedy achieved great success in his political career, proving that anyone can overcome obstacles to achieve their dreams. The rise of JFK's celebrity status. Learn how Kennedy turned himself into a rare leader and the value he placed on building a public persona. Born into a family that understood the financial benefits of celebrity status, John F. Kennedy learned the value of the media early on. His father, Joseph Kennedy, an early Hollywood producer, recognized that the media had the power to turn ordinary people into stars. He used this knowledge to keep his family in the public eye as his political career advanced. When he became the ambassador to Great Britain, he hired a full-time press agent. John F. Kennedy also saw the value in building a public persona and placing himself in the public eye. He shared his World War II Navy stories in Reader's Digest, the most popular magazine of his day. His staff made sure newsreels and publications covered his activities. Even his dates with Jackie Bouvier were accompanied by Life magazine photographers. Through a combination of action and communication skills, Kennedy was able to personify his vision and inspire others, despite facing adversity throughout his life. Kennedy carefully crafted his image and appearance. He understood the importance of dressing well and even bought special shoes to compensate for the half-inch difference in the length of his legs. He changed clothes 4 times daily to always look fresh and even employed a personal hairstylist. When photographed, he spent hours perfecting lighting and poses, never letting himself be photographed holding a drink or eating to avoid awkward images. Despite his carefully managed image, Kennedy's public appeal came from his aura of optimism and his love for his job. He learned how to use humor to mollify rivals and had great credibility as a veteran whose older brother died in the war. He won his first electoral platform by promising jobs for veterans, using his own veteran experience as proof he could make it happen. Kennedy knew that inspiring people was an essential part of being a leader. He recognized his own strengths and utilized his charisma to build a personal brand that continues to inspire people today. Kennedy's message and communication skills. Kennedy's reputation as a skilled communicator was not innate but rather honed through professional coaching and practice. His message was driven by a strong conviction that America needed to prepare for a new reality, namely to prevent communism by producing new armaments and rebuilding its army. Additionally, he recognized the importance of television as a political tool, working hard to deliver smooth presentations to audiences. His authenticity and sincerity shone through and gave him an edge over his opponents. Overall, Kennedy's message and communication skills played a crucial role in shaping his political career and legacy. Kennedy's speechwriting mastery. Kennedy's speeches, which were short, powerful, and had distinct messages, played an essential role in his leadership duties. As an excellent speechwriter, he saw speechwriting and delivery as part of his responsibility, and he took extra steps to ensure that his message got through. Kennedy employed speechwriters, led by Theodore Sorensen, to help him, and he sought feedback from many advisors. He used precise language and statistics and combined vision, optimism, and tenacity. Many of his speeches centered around meeting challenges, asking the public to be pioneers in innovation and imagination. His 1960 inaugural speech introduced the idea that America could continue to accomplish great things, building on themes used by Churchill and Roosevelt. JFK's increasing experience also made him comfortable with being extemporaneous and editing speeches as he delivered them. Kennedy's leadership secrets. Kennedy's ability to embrace different perspectives, trust his team, and empower them to be policymakers transformed the role of White House staff members. From his upbringing, Kennedy developed a wider perspective, which prepared him for new challenges. He hired talented individuals and allowed them to do their jobs effectively, giving them autonomy. Sorensen, who he trusted immensely, became the gatekeeper for certain cabinet members. By adopting this approach, Kennedy was able to lead with greater vision and success. JFK's unconventional rise. Despite his wealthy background, Kennedy challenged authority and built his own political organization to win elections. From his first election, he took on the Boston political machine and recruited locally connected people to connect with voters. To compensate for his small organization, he campaigned months earlier than his rivals, starting his 1960 presidential race in 1958. Kennedy's personal style and campaign strategies paved the way for his unconventional rise to power. Kennedy's leadership style. John F. Kennedy's leadership style was characterized by his ability to face sensitive issues with conviction and take responsibility for his actions. Kennedy openly addressed religious tensions during his presidential campaign and emphasized that his Catholic faith would not interfere with his duties as president. He even offered to resign if it ever conflicted with his responsibilities. Through his stance on this issue, he turned potential backlash into a political asset. Beyond his political decisions, Kennedy also revolutionized the use of television in American politics by creating an aesthetically appealing public image. He valued informal methods of communication and kept a busy, unstructured schedule, preferring interactions that stimulated creativity. Kennedy's leadership approach emphasized personal interaction and an open-door policy with his staff, rarely holding formal meetings. His leadership principles reflect a sense of responsibility, conviction, and an emphasis on personal connection. Kennedy's misjudgment. Kennedy's rationalist approach to domestic and foreign affairs led to several critical errors. Misjudging the civil rights movement, he failed to support it fully until pushed by events. However, once he realized the mistake, he took personal responsibility and acted promptly to rectify the situation. Kennedy's crisis management. The book discusses the multiple crises faced by President John F. Kennedy, such as the Cuban Missile Crisis, which could have led to a nuclear war. The administration considered several options, including a military invasion, blockade, embargo, or missile site attack. The decision-making process involved a lot of discussion and disagreements, but JFK relied on the best current evidence and advice to make a sound decision. The president advised keeping a cool head and not being swayed by new information that doesn't fundamentally change the situation. JFK's hidden struggles. The charismatic JFK privately battled with a turbulent marriage, numerous health issues, and extramarital affairs. Despite the attempt by his advisors to discourage such behavior, he continued to engage in high-risk activities. And while his loyal team never divulged his personal struggles, they had a significant effect on his time as president and beyond.
As we conclude our journey into the life and presidency of John F. Kennedy, we are left with a deeper understanding of his unique approach to leadership and how it has left a lasting impact on the world. His uncanny ability to use the media and establish himself as a public figure played a significant role in his success. Coupled with his strong principles and authentic messaging, JFK was able to inspire a nation to embrace his vision for change and progress, despite the limitations he faced. By learning from the leadership principles and experiences of this iconic president, we can find inspiration and wisdom for our own leadership journeys, and aspire to create our own enduring legacies.